Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
There are so many different diseases on the planet right now, it's kind of hard to figure which one to address first. But I think this is one that's common to us all. So therefore, I wanted to first try to bring to light why I am considering money madness to actually be a disease. Perhaps in the beginning, money wasn't designed to become a disease, but the way it has changed, it certainly affects people in that way. If you look at how money is made available to us, you can start getting an idea. Banks print out money with impunity by the trillions. It is then passed on to other banks who then loan it, but loan it with an interest. So whenever you take that money, you right out are starting behind, because you're not given enough money to pay for what you have received. So you're starting at a deficit. Right there, it is showing you that it is limited and designed to be limited. So I'm saying to you, watch very closely your energy and how you deal with money issues in your life. Okay, for those who have less, probably with regard to money, fear is going to manifest in their lives, and it's going to be fear of survival. But don't think that they have an exclusive on that, because those who have more, they also have a fear, but their fear registers in a different way. They distance themselves from those who don't have. They insulate themselves, and they shut down their capacity to feel. Otherwise, how could it be for the billionaires of the world to shut themselves off from those who are just barely getting by? Consider now that this is a program that a lot of people are buying into. The money system as it is set up now, it is one of scarcity. The money game is rigged. So, we look at this and we say that if you get involved in the money game, then you're going to try to do whatever you can so that you have enough money to live the way you feel like you should. But at the same time, you're probably doing this without considering the wider effects that the choices you're making have on the world about you, as well as the community at large. If you take into account that there are mutual funds that many of you have invested in, and you're doing it so that at the end of whenever you'll have enough money, but stop and think. Your mutual fund, you may think, well, wow, that's going into Coca-Cola. But it's a much larger fund, and it is a fund that is, we don't really know how it's affecting other people. We don't really realize that other people are probably, and in many instances, are being poisoned. But we don't care as long as our investment grows. Apparently, it is no problem for us to profit from the misfortune of others and the destruction of the planet, as long as we don't have to see a direct connection. So now you're starting to get a little more of a feel for why I'm saying to you that money madness really is a disease. Let's consider now that something changes in the process when we do something for money. We work for money, we do whatever it is for money. Even if we're doing something that we like, if we lose sight that we're doing it because we like it, because we have need to take care of other things that only money as we can see it can take care of, we're getting lost. Now, let's make a shift here. I can see it starting to cool you down, and understandably so. What if you do something for the pure love of doing it? What if you and yourself decide that you want to do something, and you want to do something because you love doing it, and also because it benefits others? Motive. What I'm doing here is I'm revealing the energy of motive for why you do what you do. If you're doing it for that, then if you do get money, then your motive changes the energy of money. So perhaps there's some money that's purer than other money. I can remember as a kid growing up, my mother would say, "Oh, don't put that in your mouth, that's dirty." Nickel, dime, quarter. Dimes I could swallow, so maybe there was a chance there, but dollar bills, my goodness me. But you see, those kind of germs aren't really the cause of the disease that I'm speaking of here. The entire function of money is to pull us off our center and keep our attention fastened on the illusion of the third dimensional world. How many books have you said, how many courses perhaps have you gone to that are all including abundance with money? As if there's a connection there? Please, I want you to see the illusion of this. Because many people take a course like that so that they can learn how to make more money. They don't give a damn about abundance. They want the money, honey. And the ones who are giving the courses, are they giving them gratis? I don't think so. Are they giving it because they love teaching people how to become abundant? I don't think so. Again, look at this from the motive perspective. How are we going to change this? One of the things is that we need to look and see what abundance really is. You see, abundance really is the essence of the universe. It's the essence of Source. If you can get beyond the human involvement in this disease money game, you begin to see how life is prolific. It gives and gives and gives and gives. It receives, it receives, it receives, it receives. But it is abundance in manifestation. If you see one star, and you only see one star, it's because you aren't opening your eyes to see the billions and trillions upon others. If you see one butterfly, and that's all you see, then you're missing the millions and millions of others. The whole concept of the universe is based upon abundance. We are connected. I love the saying by Oslo. It says, I have two principles upon which I live my life. One, I live today as if today were going to be the last day I live on earth. And two, I live today as if I'm going to live forever. Radical but brilliant. Take into account that it is taking who we are and bringing us together. Because you see, we are the finite as well as we are the infinite. If we can begin to live our lives from the infinite premise, then we begin to tap into that settling, assuring realization, all is well, and I have everything I need. But if we only live from the finite basis of, I've got to make ends meet, then we've lost our connection to Source. And we're beginning to believe that it's all our finite responsibility to make it happen. And then we fall into all the woes that brings to our door in the form of dis-ease. Because we are lacking ease when we live that way. So I'm going to make a suggestion here. Perhaps we can wean ourselves from this as if money were an addiction. I know that might be shocking to some of you to consider that you have an addiction with regard to money and that you're always looking for a fix. Well, what if you did? Go ahead and take it and then begin to apply yourself from a basis of, for one day a week, I'm going to fast money. I'm not going to spend it. I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to think about it. I'm not going to be concerned whatsoever. I'm going to live this day money-free. And I'm going to instead choose to engage myself in activities that are meaningful to me, that bring me a sense of joy, of me being me, of maybe going for a walk, maybe sleeping in, maybe getting up and having a fine meal, maybe then taking a nap. Taking it easy instead of being consumed by the money game. Now, this is a suggestion, but I'm saying it to you from a premise of also the deeper realization that you see, this parasite is going to eat you up unless you in yourself learn to remove yourself from its engagement. If you don't give yourself over to this money madness, you're going to find that you grow increasingly secure with a deepening realization that you are taken care of. Because you'll begin to tap into and remember how from when you have always been provided for, even when you were against your own provisions. Now, there's another part of this, you see, that many people don't realize, and that is the money game is coming to an end. The collapse of the money system is coming upon us. But what is perhaps being brought forward to replace it won't necessarily benefit us any more than the money game. But it is for us to awaken to this and begin to, as individuals, make conscious choices of how we're going to live our lives and learn to live our lives without money, and find other means of exchange to where we then are capable of giving and receiving. We can also simplify our lives and reduce a lot of things that we don't need. And I'm not saying this to your own self-deprecation. I'm saying it from a basis of learning to live a life of simplicity instead of being sucked into this consumerism that is at the heart of it, the money game. So begin to open yourself up and realize that you have a direct internal connection to Source itself. One of the ways that you can begin to activate this and realize it from a deeper level is to start looking for the good in your life and praising it. To start blessing how well your body works. To start blessing the fact that you have clothes, that you have friends, that you have all the different things that you have that you up to now perhaps have taken for granted or even lost sight of because you're so damned concerned about where your next dollar is going to come from. So, these are only thoughts. These are only considerations for you to, in yourself, perhaps, reflect upon and find that it is starting to make sense to you, especially when you see yourself and others so mindlessly consumed by it. And meanwhile, we can start doing something we love for the love of it. Practice putting love before money and find what it starts revealing to you in your life. You might start experiencing the cure. Thank you very much.
For more information about the Metaphysical Church of Enlightenment or the Rodin Foundation, please go to our website at www.rodin.org. If you have been inspired by the revelations shared in these podcasts, please donate to the Rodin Foundation's ongoing efforts to help others help themselves at www.rodin.org/donate.